In this tutorial, I'd like to show you something which has been available in Photoshop for a very long time, but it's only really begun to be useful now when we're up to CS5. So while the tool is available in all versions of Photoshop back for a very long time now, I wouldn't really recommend anyone to use this tool unless you're in CS5. And the tool in question is actually the Sharpen tool. Now, I've heard it from Adobe very recently that the best sharpening algorithm that is actually inside of Photoshop, the entire Photoshop application, is now in the Sharpen tool. And that may come as a big surprise for all of you because I've said forever, and my friends who also teach this have also said forever, that never ever use the Sharpen tool. And that holds the same for most of these tools here in the toolbar that does something like blur or sharpen or similar like that, is they don't really produce a good result. Now, Adobe has taken steps into making these good tools again, and from CS5 now you can actually use this Sharpen tool to do some good sharpening. So let's take a look at that. So I have a photo here, a studio photo that I took against a black background while I was doing a live demo here on how to do this lighting effect. And so if I zoom in here, you can see that it isn't overly sharp, it isn't out of focus, but it could do with some sharpening here in the face. So first, since this is going to be destructive, we're going to work on the layer. We're going to duplicate the background layer to get a layer to work on top. Then we're going to go to pull the Sharpen tool here, and you need to make sure that Protect Detail is on. If it is off, it'll be the same old Sharpen tool that no one really should use. But if it's turned on, it makes all the world of difference. So Protect Detail on. Next, I'm gonna reduce the strength to about 25 here. And because it's a brush, it works with brushes. The more you paint on an area, the more you're going to apply it. So you can paint more times if you'd like to apply more strength. And this little icon here at the far right is also new for the Sharpen tool, and that means a whole world of difference if you're using a tablet. So what it does, it's applying the tablet pressure control size, which will override the size you've set here. So since I'm using a tablet right now, I'm going to click in that. And I'm going to begin to sharpen here, some areas here. So I'm going to zoom in a bit. Now, I'm going to see the eyes here could definitely use some sharpening. And you'll see I just apply just a bit of sharpening. And I'm going to do it here to get the eyebrows. And I'm going to get here the eyes. Now, that's probably a bit too much. But as I said, you can always go and apply more pressure and paint over and over. And you see here, when we zoom out, this is a big difference. It makes a whole lot of difference here. But we really just did with one single tool here, just painting a bit. And you can go ahead and do the same to other parts here. For example, hairline. If you paint in that, you're going to get a little more sharpened hair. So we can do that. And sharpening is supposed to be subtle differences. So, but you definitely see a difference in the hair when I've sharpened it, apart from when it's unsharpened. And you can do the month too if you'd like. It depends if you're going for the rough effect rather than the smooth effect here. So if I do a bit on the face here, you're soon gonna see the major difference here. So I'm turning it on and off here, and you see. It's definitely a change. It's bringing out more to this image. So it's good sharpening. It's a Sharpen tool now in CS5. And while it is destructive and while it does edit the pixels, it's some really good sharpening. So don't be afraid to use it. Just duplicate the layer, do your sharpening there, or just create a new layer, sample all the layers, and you can sharpen on here. So then you have just an empty layer that you can turn on and off for your sharpening. So you choose either of these two methods, new layer or duplicating, depends on what type of control and if you want to move on with that sharpened layer on something that does require a full image. So that is what I wanted to show you. It's the Sharpen Tool in Photoshop CS5, which you can now, I'm proudly to say, go ahead and use it.